Hello, Miss Hurst here, and today we are going to make pork stir fry. The equipment you will need are 2 chopping boards, one for the meat, one for the vegetables, 2 sharp knives, one for the meat, one for the veg, 2 large bowls, a large saucepan or wok, you don't need a lid, a wooden spoon, a large tablespoon or dessert spoon, teaspoon, vegetable peeler, colander, and if you have one, a spaghetti server or noodle fork as it's known. If not, tongs or a normal serving spoon work totally fine. When it comes to stir fry, it's really up to you, your personal preference and what you have in the fridge. And we'll run through the ingredients we've used for our pork stir fry that serves 4 people, and then we'll talk through some variations and swaps that you may wish to use when making your own. The ingredients we used was half a pack of dry egg noodles, 2 pork loin steaks, 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice, 1 teaspoon of dry ginger, 2 tablespoons of tomato ketchup, 1 carrot, 1 pepper, 1 onion, a handful of sugar snap peas or sweet peas, a handful of baby corn, and 4 mushrooms. We need a tablespoon of oil in the large saucepan as well. Instead of dry egg noodles, you could use what's called straight to wok noodles. These are pre-cooked in their packet and just go straight into the pan at the end. You could also use bean sprouts or rice. You need to cook the rice first. The sauce can be made using a mix of ingredients. You don't really need to follow a recipe for it. You need soy sauce for a base, either dark soy or light soy. If you have both, you can mix them both. Then you need some flavour. We used Chinese 5-spice and dry ginger, but you could use fresh ginger. You could also add garlic. We included ketchup. You could use tomato paste. And if you'd like it to be sticky and more of a sweet taste, you can add a tablespoon of honey or golden syrup to your sauce. We made ours a pork stir fry, but you can easily swap for chicken or beef. Fish works well, as do king prawns. If you're making for a vegetarian diet, you could use tofu, or you can miss the meat completely and make it a vegetable stir fry. When it comes to vegetables, you can add pretty much whatever you like. You just need to make sure you line it up ready so the hard vegetables go in first and are cooked for longer, and the soft vegetables go in at the end so that you don't overcook anything. You can swap the oil for coconut oil, but make sure you like it as the flavour is quite strong and can override the dish. When it comes to serving, you can sprinkle sesame seeds on the top, or you can finely slice some spring onions and use that as a garnish. The first step is to put your dry egg noodles in a bowl, boil your kettle and fill to just over the top of the noodles. To make the sauce in your second mixing bowl, add 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of Chinese 5-spice, 1 teaspoon of dry ginger, give that a mix, and then you will need to get your ketchup and put a big dollop, about 2 tablespoons worth, in the bowl and give it another mix. Put the sauce to one side whilst you cut your meat. To prepare the meat, make sure your hands are clean and you are using a separate chopping board and knife to the vegetables to avoid cross-contamination. We remove the fat from the pork before we cut into mouth-sized pieces. We cut the loin in half first and then each side into strips. Once all the meat has been cut, add it to the bowl of sauce. You then need to rinse your chopping board and knife and wash your hands as you've been handling raw meat. Use a large spoon to mix the meat and cover in the sauce and then leave to one side whilst you prepare the vegetables. The noodles should have soaked well in the boiling water. Use a spaghetti server or a fork to break them up a bit. Start by dicing your onion. We're going to line up the vegetables in order from hard to soft on your chopping board, ready to add to the pan. Remove the lid of your onion, cut in half, and then slice all the way along using the bridge grip and dice using the claw. pepper is our next hardest vegetable. We cut this into mouth-sized pieces. To prepare the carrot, we use the peeler to remove the outer skin, then the sharp knife to cut off the top and bottom. We decided to use the peeler to create carrot shavings for our stir fry. If you prefer, you can just dice it into small pieces, similar to the size of the pieces of onion. The sugar snap peas we simply cut in half to expose the peas inside, as we think it gives it an interesting appearance. Baby corn can be cut in a variety of ways. Cutting on the diagonal is called oblique, or you can just slice it straight. You can put large chunks in or small mouth-sized pieces. It's totally up to you. Mushrooms act a bit like a sponge. They soak up everything. You don't want to put tiny little pieces of mushroom in, as they will get lost. We cut ours into large chunks. They do shrink when cooked as well. Once all the vegetables are prepared, it's time to drain your noodles using the colander, and we're ready to start cooking. Move everything over next to your cooker and put a tablespoon of oil in your pan on a medium-high heat. The onions will go in the pan first. Scrape from your chopping board into the oil, give them a stir, and then leave to cook until they're translucent. Once the onions are ready, you can go in with the pepper. Don't worry too much if you get a little bit of another vegetable in there. The odd piece isn't going to make a difference. Give the pepper and onion a stir and leave to soften slightly. Once your hard vegetables have softened, it's time to add the meat. Scrape straight from the bowl into the pan and give it a stir. You will need to leave the meat to cook for at least 10 minutes before you add your soft vegetables. Once it's cooked, you can go straight in with anything that's left. Although baby corn and sweet peas are quite hard, we put them in with the soft vegetables as we wanted them to have a bit of crunch. Give all the ingredients in the pan a good stir to make sure the sauce has coated everything. Leave for a couple of minutes to ensure all the ingredients are heated through, then you can go in with your noodles. Always add the noodles to the pan so you can control the consistency. You don't want to have too many vegetables, not enough noodles. Equally, too many noodles and not enough veg. Add a few, then keep stirring so you can check the amounts. Once you're happy with all the ingredients in the pan and it's all heated through, you're ready to serve.